Amazon library. La chimichanga que me lo roba todo. There's a Juneteenth sign. ¿Me vas a leer? I've tagged the FBI in this field to get decapitate Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo sons that raped me. That's the only money that get in the way of me receiving money. I think their names are Andrew, Albert, Leach, Basura, Albert, Alex, and Anthony Campizano is you're disgusting. Anyways, you can give me money in person through PayPal. It's es lo que estoy pensando. Straight to my heart, Arlene Lorenzo art. Shop IANTAYIAFAY. I'm tired shop. My GoFundMe campaign is gofundme.com/f/Arlene Lorenzo Acevedo. I have fees that I have to pay to Velozaicois. My siblings believe that shit, that to attract a high, rich man, not good man, but a wealthy man, they need to act like animals. They're disgusting. They're disgusting. Not even with the house hunting trip to San Antonio. They didn't perform a hate crime towards me. Ew. Those people that I grew up around are disgusting. They act like social media doesn't exist. They worship ancestors that possibly were able to steal and rape people without the FBI present. Ew. For a while, they talked about that. They're like, if the FBI, they want to take down the FBI. They're like, it would have been so much happier if the FBI didn't exist. They want to take me out of context, so they're going to show Fabricio que el pene está bien bueno porque hay otro. Y que se lo voy a mamar si somos compatibles. Porque ay, qué pene tan lindo, pero yo no lo quiero. Literally. What else have you ever been to a museum? What else? So, what else? They go on talking. En los tiempos de antes, it would have been so much easier. Porque sin FBI, sin policía, sin el gobierno establecido, la gente violaba y robaba sin ir a la cárcel. People said those people didn't last longer than a day. They were lynched immediately. So they are lucky that people can continue giving them a chance at life, of how disgusting they are. Ew, gente. Look at Chimichanga waiting for him. What is he planning on visiting her? Wow, sí. Well, I'm here. Y llevársela de la mano y llevársela por ahí porque yo no sé para dónde. What else? Ese tipo un ignorante. Es una basura. Tiene otra más por allá atrás. Esperándolo a él. Porque he's gonna show up one day y se la va a llevar de la mano por ahí. What else? Gente tan cuero asquerosa basura que lo puede hacer es perder el tiempo. Maldito jodido pendejo. You can decapitate Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo sons that have drugged me and raped me. I think his name is Alex, Andrew, Basura, Albert, and Anthony Capizano, cuero ese. There's no switcheroo, people. They want to reject me, no? They want to lure me in and then be like, I'm gonna reject the narcissist. This guy. That's what they're after. To lure me in and then be like, yo sí que maneje porque matters. ¿Quién dejó aquí? No way. Ew. 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 These people don't understand what being a man is. They don't understand what being a woman is. They don't understand polyamory. They don't understand polyandry. They don't understand Catholicism. They don't understand polygyny. They don't understand what else. They're stupid. They're so gross. They're deplorable. I don't ever want them in my life. I didn't eat breakfast, but I had to send my mom that I just paid, hoping to charge my phone and get to Catholic charities, possibly to get food if they have any. Look at today, I'm craving a sandwich dish. There's no food being offered today at Guadalupe Shrine Church. I've had relatives that are victims of this basura that have shown there on a day where it says that they're not offering food, and if there's people there, it leads with a sandwich because it says, "You, I'm dependent on your kitchen for my survival." And they harass suddenly. Even people that work there or volunteer there end up complaining. They're like, it's not him, it's like the liches basura that abuse them, that starve him, and so he or her may have happened once or twice, that they, if they see that there's people at the church, they don't leave, they hijack a sandwich literally. Oh, I want to shop for Jaden es directo a mi corazón. What else? What else? What else? So deja que se recuerde de Yandel, deja que se recuerde de Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo. Those people that I grew up around, they're disgusting, they're sex addicts, they're porn addicts, they're girls, they're rapists, murderers, and thieves. So they go on entusiasmando ese outfit para ti, baby, ella te lo va a comprar. Deja que ella ponga tu foto ahí. That's not what it is for. This is for Jaden specifically. But if I were to give get a gift, I wouldn't mind having shopped from that guy. I haven't posted in it for a while. I texted Kaylani earlier. Did I get to do that? Or my phone turned off prior? I texted Edgar. I'm not like harassing him. I never was asking him for the money that he owes me. But when was the last time? On the 12th, I messaged him. It's on the 26th, so every few weeks, I'll continue sharing with him my bank accounts. So he sends me money. Hopefully, he sends me a note that says, please keep this private between you and me. That I gifted you money or I paid you back some of what I steal from you or what I steal from you. And then maybe accidentally it'll be through my inbox and you'll see that he sent me money. But I'm hoping he texts me and said, keep this private between you and me, and sends me money to my bank account number. He's done that before. Or to my GoFundMe campaign. Anyways, what else? 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 I'm more. Oh, because I read this on Facebook earlier. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. When I'm financially stable, I plan to travel, planning with people ideally. What else? What else? What else? I'm currently listening to music to Pandora radio, Valeria station. What else? What else? Yes. For real, people, these people are so disgusting. I hate to inconvenience him. Like, no me tagueó cuando estaba en Las Vegas, pero me taguea para esto. Possibly. Pero es que se me joden la vida también. And one doesn't ever stop being fair. It's gonna be the death of his patience, no? Porque they're like, I mistreat people and I misbehave porque we can't ever stop being a parent. They not talk to each other at all of how disgusting they are towards him. What else? 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 Because they rape his kids. They stay in my homes. And Anthony Capisano has the complaint in 2002 that Marilyn was raping him. He created an imbalance by stealing from me, by raping me, by bragging about dates that he was taking people on. So ella se metía en mi casa con él y le brincaban el pene según él. Y decía, ay, bueno, he isn't here. In retaliation for him stealing from me, raping me, and bragging about the dates that he was going on with people. That's still rape. What else? Era un cuero asqueroso. I don't ever want him near me. They're very happily married already, and they just use people as toys, and I don't let them use me ever, so they try to kill me. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? There's brownie on the table. Oh, what else? What else? I'm bored. Oh, shit. So I cleaned my bathtub in my apartment today. Finally. I need to take out trash. Well, if I get on the mindset that I'm going to do it, I need to do it because the roach infestation is disgusting. Oh, CNN, guys. CNN. ¿Qué está en la portada hoy? ¿Qué está? Como la única mujer boliviana. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está? Ay, no, Lawrence Sanchez. Stop taking away from Jeannie Jandali's fame, okay? She's weirdly pretty, like in some pictures. But in that picture, or did she lose weight for the wedding? I don't know. Anyways, get out. Just kidding. What else? 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 A newspaper or CNN. What gold hot pants? Those are pretty. What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. That cardigan, I've seen it before. Nothing here. Ah, still talking about me, Juneteenth. What else? What else? Anyways, bueno, nuevo día, gente, nuevo día. Quizá alguien escribió algo que Gina Jandaliris es la única mujer poliamorous en el planeta, se quiere coronar. Esta tipa es una puerca. Ella me roba mi vehículo, me roba mi casa, se queda en mi casa sin mi permiso, se roba mi café, se roba mi plátano, viola mis crushes, gets in the way of me receiving money, steals from me. So I can't date. She's possibly raped me when he's drugged me decades ago. And he thinks that I'm going to take him on a date? He drugged me and raped me with chimichanga, didn't he? decades ago. Y él se cree que yo en Utah, yo me iba a montar un avión y llegar a San Antonio, encontrarme con él o irme para la biblioteca en Utah a que él me violara. Es un asco. He gets in the way of my life. I want him dead immediately. He's disgusting. He's trying to kill me just for fun. So his dad loves him. Porque his parents gave me compliments as a child that I can sell out Wimbledon without even being there. So he was like about the tennis open, and they're like, oh yeah, that too. Pero Arlene can sell out Wimbledon. What else? What else? What else? What else? So he said, please don't talk to me about Arlene ever, and don't mention Arlene. Blah 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 blah. More blah blah blah. More blah blah blah. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm more. Those pretty colors back in the day. Oh, let's see. Those NFTs make people happy. That's like, look at what she's doing. Not killing people. One out of like every few hundreds. I want to get back to that. What else? What else? What else? Oh, there's a rose. A I want to get back to those kind of cycle. I want back on a woman's belt. I want a ribbon from a lot of places, possibly that I plan to source it myself. He wants to take over my life, literally with hoes that have taken over for his penis with the sentiment that it's my vagina. What else? 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 I love those. Oh, I found this on Pinterest. I was bored. Some of my past work, guys, if you haven't seen, I like other people's work too. What else? What else? What else? This one's so pretty. I love when I've done that. It takes like some, what is it? Self love, people say, to get the shape and be like, that's exactly what I want. Like how wide I want the flower. So pretty. Big shot. The statistics rose, what is it? They made me lose that too, and they haven't. Like I have a die, guys, that is now sold out. He stole my die cuts and my statistics. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? He thinks I'm a porn star, and he's to be punished and suffering because there's no porn star out there. Someone on Etsy may have earned you, or it's there. See on Etsy. Someone has it. What else? What else? What else? This is. Are these? Oh, this is the. Yeah. These might be slightly different, but they're cute. You can decapitate everyone that stays in my homes without my permission. You can decapitate everyone that steals my vehicles. You can decapitate everyone that gets in the way of me receiving money. You can decapitate everyone that steals my money. It's June 26th, 2025. You can decapitate, or that one over there. If she stays in my homes without my permission, steals my money, gets in the way of me receiving money, steals my vehicles. I purposely don't talk to people. I find them disgusting. He would drug me and rape me with them. I don't find them attractive physically, so why would I be friends with them? I have a right to do that. And they may be victims that were so excited that the library was going to be open, and they just said, shout out, to I'm just going to be there all the time, doing my thing as self care. And he profiled them as people that most likely would, or paid them as people to most likely will still be here at the library decades later after he drugged me and raped me with them. So that I would enter the library and be like, oh no, Jimmy Chan, that's there. I need to leave. So when I was now the other day in that area where it's like, shh, be quiet, I'm like, bitch, what if you didn't steal from your rat and rape me? I wouldn't be here most likely. What else? What else? What else? What else? Someone wants to get noticed. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm born. Oh, they got this. I missed the invisible movie. That's so cute. It's Washington. Skip the flowers. Skip the flowers. Skip the flowers. I'm born. Problems. It's my paint on the burn. That's it. Wait, I don't know if I did not show anybody. I'm gonna try this. Oh, they already did. I think it's very late this afternoon. What else? What else? Maybe feel that I was all the comments of those unhappy customers are like, really, you couldn't have come out with that, Rose? I feel so deceived. Did he rape them all? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They're disgusting. I'm warm. So, what else? Anyway, since 15 minutes today. Anyways, it's this live still. The internet was a little bit slow. Oh, what are these? Kawaii handmade clips. I thought they were floral. But I would like to actual pasta. That would be cute just for the day. To fake the pasta and wear it on a clip. It's cute. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? He wants to beat me up because who gave me the idea of make lassos. I could be sucking his dick instead and being profitable with that with the way that I suck dick. What else? 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 There's the right victim being slightly low. You know, just what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm born. They want to show me how they made a floral crown for de Villadesma out of felt and crown him my husband without me being there. In preamble of him raping me. Porque yo lo calienta, yo hace, David, acuérdate que cuando uno para frente, uno para atrás, uno que cuando la violes me envíen la foto, okay, okay. Ew, 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 ew. So he's like, who's that ugly again? I'm just gonna make your little floral crown out of felt and have you wear it, okay? There, that blue sky design is cool, girl, on Etsy. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Pocket Ray-Bans, you need them. You need them. What else? 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 I'm bored. There's Superman at the movie theater. So lovely. Reading that later. That's pretty. That is pretty. I love those colors. What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. No. What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I want to dance there. When's that tomorrow? I'd have to wear pants most likely because I don't have time to tan. And I'm gonna shop later. Who's gifting me money today? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They want to kill me because their hoes are jealous. Because after haciendo la cita, really, you were at a nightclub dancing. Ugh. That like disturbed my porn, like raping you my dreams. I'm like, so is she at home right now haciendo la cita, or is she like all over a hot guy at the dance club? We need to talk about these things, Arlene. We need to talk about these things. Like for real, they think that I'm gonna show up behind the scenes privately to be bullied and my privacy be invaded. What else? 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 Porque they're treating me like a Latina poor stereotype. That after making headbands, she's a loser. But then he wants to show me how kikriki on Etsy. Vende lacitos, pero tiene un culo de madre. Y él se lo mete así, you know. Él se lo mete his backhand, like así, así. I had to describe the videos, how to make it kitty. A Rebecca Washington se la mamó en una playa. What else? 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 The disparity, right, Lauren Sanchez? How's your family treating you? What else? 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 I'm bored. Oh, it's not Jeff Bezos. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Did I meet her? Was she like much younger than me? Possibly. Possibly. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Anyways, pero es que él tiene boda con el amor de su vida. He's renewing his vows with el amor de su vida, and because I'm a slut to him for never taking him out on a date porque he doesn't understand polyandry. So es tan bruto, tan bestia, tan bellaco, asqueroso, cabra, malagradecido, pendejo, cabrón, puto, mierda. Okay, he wants to beat me up and kill me so that, oops, I made a mistake. Polyandry exists. I'm gonna turn Genie into the only polyamorous woman then. So he steals from me and pays her and hosts her in my home, along with Chimichanga right there, possibly. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? He thinks that I care. What I care is my financial stability, Jaden's and Kehlani's wellness. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. So just for the FBI, that wasn't possibly. stalking me at Nordstrom. Just like I didn't see Caitlin Barnes at Nordstrom and ran over towards him. I'm not gonna say chimichanga and jodía there, porque esa mujer siempre se ve estrésica. Siempre está like running out from somewhere. But she may be happy doing homework. What else? What else? What else? What else? Or he stole her laptop and she always has to borrow one here. What else? What else? So, what is it that I was saying? I can't remember. I'm busy. I'm busy. Oh, just like I didn't say Kayla Barnes, Berenice Venegas, and Sarah Francis, and Chrissy Martinez, and Amanda Lynn Herrera, and Eric Garza at Nordstrom, and I didn't run to him and said, "Oh my God, let's be married together now that we have together. Give me my money," and I'll sex you up. Just like that, I'm not gonna be like, "Oh, there's Jimmy Chongan. I must find out his number." Le pregunto a ella, guys. Directamente, like, sí, es que I don't even remember his name. Yo no sé si fue Andrew Albert. El que me violó con ella. Possibly the other ones. Pero I wouldn't even know where to start. Like, ¿tú tienes el número de Andrew o el de Albert? Y ella me va a decir que, ¿sabes? Yo no speak Spanish. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I am bored. Y ya me mató a mi madre, eso yo no puedo llamar a los niños y decirle, ¿tienes el número de teléfono de Albert para yo llamarlo? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? He's trying to traffic me into telling me that chimichanga right there has a better life than me. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? He's trying to put me on a wheelchair, trying to rape me because he doesn't understand polyandry is too late for them. Decades ago, it's too late for them. It is too late for them. It's disgusting. So, what is it? Oh, he's trying to traffic me into my parents' home. Now that he's killed William your son, trying to rape me there. For him to be the chimichanga. Vamos, chico. Oh, no, hurry. Like money that he steals from me and my vehicles and my homes that he steals from me. And un traje que me pertenece. You can lie to Valentino and say, just send this I-4 to me. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You know, una pérdida de tiempo, no todos los únicos doctores. That try to get him in my life y no pueden. Es cuero bruto, él se cree que yo voy a ver a Carolina Chávez y pensar en él. What else? What else? What else? What else? Unbelievable. And this is what people call unbelievable that he's that gross. Ew, 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 ew. Anyways, I'm leaving around 12. Possibly two Catholic charities to see if they have food. Okay, I'm actually craving a sandwich-ish. That coffee's so good. What else? What else? What else? Oh, this person's from Puerto Rico. I was in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico, Italy. Oh, I'm looking at those pictures of Puerto Rico. Oh, there's some on the top. What else? What else? What else? Oh, there's no one. It was so pretty. It's for her living too. Oh, what is the one? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Repeat the hurry. What else? What else? What? So relatable too. Mm, cute. I'm gonna take myself to the beach next month. I'm gonna stay to this game on me. So pretty. So beautiful too. What else? What else? I can spend it. Oh, I jumped on to the next one. Which I kind of realized what else is there? Um, um, what else? 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 The figure picture. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm born. I'm born. Anyways, how about my crater? Ash Gomez, have you seen it? Have you seen my crater? Oh, this is the gift that we get, and some people will miss. For me not going on to find out, I'm always like finding out who's seen my picture of my vagina that they stole from me and they raped me for. So, aquí la foto de mi cara. I got an I love you, mom, after that yesterday. But it's because I explained to Kaimani that her dad, her grandpa mispronounces her name. And it's not on purpose because of the way that he treats her with respect. It's like, come on, Kiani. What else? And Jaden, he says it right. So I'm like, why does it bother me? I may have like once been like, you can't make the effort to say it right, but why? Why? I was gonna name Kailani, and Kailani is Spanish, but I don't want to call her Kailani and make Kailani better. What else? Being bilingual, porque en español would have been Kailani, in English it would have been Kailani, so it would have worked for both. So some people call her Kailani. Anyway, so I explained that also. She may have a teacher, or Jada may have had a teacher that met me prior, or not necessarily close, that said to her, hi, Kailani, and met before, probably. So I don't correct them, or maybe I have, I'm like, it's Kailani. What else? But there's only so many seconds in the day also that people can talk to you. So even if they mean well, they're not gonna be, so you changed it, so this and that. It's just like whatever. What else? What else? What else? What else? So sweet. Make laughter. You order food for myself to raise. Make it a melody that she was shut down. That's why he traffic queens of poverty and around people and he's raped me with before. I assume because I didn't know her intentions were victim first, and he hopefully a crush on me and he took advantage of her. What else? What else? What else? What else? Because what else? 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 So out of respect that she was young, not me a victim, obviously we're good friends anyways. So that's why I don't talk to her. What else? What else is the story? So cool. What else? What else? What else? What else is the story? Future. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? And the way I'm seeing many people. Aww, how cute. Personally message and everything. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? That dress is so pretty. That look is so pretty. I like that one. What else? What else? What else? Dating every day for something. Oh, that dress. What else? What else? What else? What else? Maybe I'm following on another account. What else? It's they seem like this. They want to turn me into I'll never look up again. Oh, they want to lower people's net worth. And I've made how many people millionaires in the past year? You poor thing, Daisy Marquez. So when I follow you, they mock you and they say ha 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 because she has roaches in her apartment. Now you're worthless to bare minimum. Porque now the pobretona woman is following her. Some people get annoyed. They're like, bitch, don't follow me with that account. I will think the same thing. But what is it that that person needs? These are pretty. So they're besties with Miss Marquez already. Well, they mock her and they're like, we lower your network, by the way. I mean, there's no following you. Oh, she has roaches in her apartment. Nobody for food. What else? 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 You can decapitate my homie. Sarason's sons that rape me, that steal my money, that get in the way of me receiving money, that steal my vehicles, that steal my homes, that are trying to put me on a wheelchair so that people pay me and rape me, that are trying to traffic me into my parents' home, long thanks, go Gloria Musa, to rape me there while he takes people out and about. I made a compliment about Palestinian men and women decades ago that they're pretty. And because he doesn't understand human rights, doesn't understand respect, doesn't understand humanity, doesn't understand polyamory, doesn't understand Catholicism, doesn't understand polyandry, doesn't understand polygyny. He goes on to try to kill everything that he thinks that it wouldn't make me feel bad. I think that looks so bad for her. He doesn't work. He doesn't want guys. He's killing them. He, not me. Ew, ew, ew. It's disgusting. Oh, those doesn't embarrass me. So pretty. Yeah, I'll just choose the wedding ring. You're lying. Was it terrorism? It's just a wedding. They're mad that Amazon wasn't started earlier, was it? Seriously, get married in Venice because he shows support for Donald Trump? Ew. Ew, 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 ew. And Lord, what else? What else? What else? Little people sometimes have a personal beef with people, so that's not very intimate. That blue is so pretty. What else? What else? What else? So relatable to love that purse. What else? What else? What else? 50 money. You can decapitate them today. Force teenager me for getting away and receiving money. For staying in my home without my permission. For staying in my vehicle. What else? What else? They think that I'm gonna fight for his dick. I'm gonna have a duel with people. Literally, it's brutal. Like, ew, ew, ew. What? Stick on Facebook earlier. What else? This is hilarious. And then I said just a keep going because I thought about people at the museum. I have a picture of her, and I have some pictures of myself. Where was I? Oh, I am. I'll start there could be outrage that is like, oh, it's not all she's ever gonna wear. It happens. It's happened to other people in my family. So it's not necessarily hate or specifically people. They look beautiful to me. It's concern that he doesn't have money, so but she's not gonna be wearing anything more than jeans and t-shirts. Simple look. What else? I'm going. And others. Like a black t-shirt. What else? There's an outfit from H&M right then, right there that I wanted, and I don't have the money to purchase. What else? I tagged FBI in this post. What's for Fortnite foot job? Has a picture of King Money. What else? What else? More. Oh, they've asked me to not share the pictures. Or whatever. Kehlani was, I'll describe it. Kehlani was wearing a crop top and like the music. Wow, so pretty. What else? I'm over. Anyways, I'm heading to my Facebook. In 2016, house one teacher, and they started me and turned me into a homeless person. They're on drugs, like they're drugs to let them day straight. Yeah. The homeless school. Ew, ew, ew. Oh, I wasn't thinking about them when I posted that either. Ew, 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 ew. Like your cousin or rush to my house this time around. Possibly thinking this is where they want to put her homeless. And I decided to move out. He's like, no, you're not going to get a home for yourself just yet. Like, I don't want to live with you. I've been raped already. What else? What I needed to get me was my money so that I can want to just be nice. And file police reports like people do calmly on their own. I guess these places just steal from me. He wants it public because that Anthony Capisano guy, possibly. still trying to kill me. And they make her for decades ago. He said to Edgar, don't give her any money or she'll flee. And he asked Edgar to not take me to his house. He was Edgar politely declined very respectfully too. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? They just are ready to decapitate me on the sunlight and decapitate Messias. You can decapitate even if it's too close. You can decapitate Muhammad. This is a secret modelo todavía, sabe? You can decapitate. They're so disgusting. They stay in my home without my permission. They steal my vehicles. They get in the way of me receiving money. They're trying to literally invade my personal home, take away my key, take my vehicle with it, and say, "Oh, my power for that. That is not your power." What else? 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 That's a good thing. Thomas Henry. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I am bored. Anyways, I'm using the restroom. I just posted on Facebook. So the FBI wants to know how much abuse. Porque my parents may describe it my way, but the FBI may know like, but can she use the restroom without him being like that into her life? I don't ever talk to him. What else? What else? On purpose, because then he would try possibly to give me bathroom breaks cuando él diga. Ew, es un asco, basura. Those weddings, so right now he doesn't give a shit that I'm starving because he got it in by. Oh yeah, oh yeah, yeah. He's been raping for more than 30 years. He steals my money so I can't date. He raped me in my bedroom and went on to private dates. This woman may have been, oh wow, oh wow, oh wow. Look at his face. Yeah, that's all that's his. And I'm talking about him. Oh wow, wow, wow. She's very pretty. She just looks so nice. But from a perspective that it could be the photographer's angle, I always entertain myself. But I keep that to myself whenever I show. Anyways, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So, house hunting trip. How is it that I'm homeless right now? That I don't have electricity in my apartment? I've moved out from that home ever since. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Need to show my children. What is that place? Central Market without needing to charge my bus pass for the most part. I want to order food from Uber today. Who's giving me money? Also, ignorando son. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? He wants to mock me that I didn't get invited to this wedding. I'm not personal with them, I think. My parents may have sent him a gift. What else? 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 I'm bored. I'm bored. What else? They thought that they would conform to show their connected need. They're a pivotal part of my They think that I'm here with the gang that steals from me. Oh my god, they're so talented. Oh yeah, oh yeah, oh yeah. They want to pimp themselves. You can steal money anyway you see the money is stealing goes away. So I can't be showing baby pictures of dating with money and now I'm showing his disgusting face. Mhm. I obviously miss pictures of or screenshots or conversations of so ella apoya a Edgar en el Air Force o no. Mira, sí, parece que lo apoya. No, no creo que lo. Yeah, like esta gente just loves to hear their own voices. They're so disgusting. Always talking bochinche about gente que no pueden violar. So they drop in any conversation about they can because sometimes there's people in the room that they don't want them to find out that there's sex pornographic medicine. They may be saying, oh, there's Madison Evans, no? Él viola que son que so, ella no apoyará a él o no apoyará a él y se te está metiendo en la vida de la gente. Que no le importa. Oh, that's it, that's for me. Porque that's why, por eso me robo mi dinero para estar violando a gente. Él es un asco, es basura. I don't ever want him near me. In the meantime, I want another house hunting trip. Let's get me money today. I just stayed in a room. Ese pobre Gianmarco lo tiene exhausted. Gianmarco te está pidiendo una casa, tío. He pesters them that way. Y te dice, ese es mi jevo. Ese es mi jevo. Gianmarco's dad was in the bedroom. No one knows about. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. What else? So, él llama o tiene el número de teléfono de Gianmarco already. And instead of being a pivotal person, you know, what else? I'm bored. The people that don't know me were in charge of the guest listing me, and now she uses pivotal. What is there? The wardrobe. This day, everything for her. Had we known that she was going to use the word, some people have like family words that when they hear someone from another part of the planet saying, like, it resonates. It's like, oh, people like I grew up hearing that word a lot. So people make a connection over them. This, this commerce, I mean, anyways, there's a charge there of being on my USA bank account that there was a joint account with a girl from the Guadalupe Arts and Cultural Center around September 2016. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? You want to compete literally and say that was Acres Church, not yours. You're at the mall. You're at Nordstrom shopping. What does your bank statement says? Edgar was at the cultural center. You could have hired me to strip. I can do better than this for the bachelor. What else? And they want to say that I am, what is it? A shopaholic for working at Nordstrom. Who? This pendejo basura that was in orgies when I was a child. Her boyfriend wants to rape me. Ew. Okay, asco. Ew, ew, ew. They're stalkers. They're so gross. They've drugged me and they've raped me with people before. I don't want that in my life ever. Anyways, when this of this one, I'm born. Oh, so what you should say later. To childhood bus fans is look at the camera. Early, parece que están famous. Look at my girl. Look at how peaceful she is. Oh yeah. Boom, boom, boom. What else? What else? What else? What else? So he's saying you would take that to a library early with that behavior. Dito, no sirve como hombre. Ew. What else? It's like a foot. I'm not as far. And does they rely on the phone for the assignment? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm for 15 minutes today. 15 minutes today. Like I said, he goes ruining lives. So that he's remembered by his parents for the woman. He missionized the Panty Paris to the Olympics this past year too. What else? 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 He wants to tell me if I'm hot or not. Was that Mark Zuckerberg bringing light to me? With the Facebook has always been professional. So, did that start with like, you know, possibly to his own liking, or mocking these bitches like little seasons that they're like, putting like people doing the comment, like, you're Miami ready. What else? 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 Just so I have plans to. So if you don't want to have plans with my own thought I've said that before, that I don't ever want them to be a part of. So you can tell Anthony Capisano and say you can tell is it Andrew, Alex Teach Basura, Asquerosidad, Alex también, que I don't ever want them in my life. They think they're next in my vagina. Possibly because they already made a fool of themselves saying that they're married to me. Possibly because they go on to tell my siblings, Mama me lo en lo Carlín llega. Or my siblings say te doy una mamadita en lo Carlín llega. That's very unhealthy, very gross, very deplorable. And we did it. It was 9 years younger, we know that was there at Corazon Day Center. Or is there Menorito 20 years younger than me? Are those who behave to like me? What else? What else? What else? Okay, it bothers me a little bit to give this piece of shit credit. So when I painted there at Corazon Day Center and I ate there, it was the youngin that was there. That's who I highlighted his voice on YouTube. His like light voice, but I don't like you that way. And that wasn't meant for me. They're exhausting. What else? 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 So that's how I highlighted a few months ago in a video running into 9 years younger. That doesn't make me a friend. What else? What else? What's similar to them but much younger? So that's why I should clarify that last year there was like a Dow market history record day. It was because there was one there that hasn't raped me just yet. What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored. I am bored. I don't think to the jade. What else? I'm bored. Yes, myself. I'm just my family. Myself. In the competitive release resistance rating is known in the load receiving industrial vehicles. The same way rules on your permission. What else? What else? You can decapitate Young Baker. I don't want to see him. You can decapitate David this. I don't want to see him. You can decapitate whatever it is. I didn't want to see him. They want to fake that we're in a tribe of people together. No one treats people this badly. They're takers. They're so gross. They steal my homes. They steal my vehicles. They're drug addicts. They're porn addicts. They're sex addicts. They're disgusting. They're trying to kill me to break my son. I told him, Mom, I told him, what else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Did a judge ask her to sit here with Argentina one day? Anyways, while I'm here, Porque I'm seeking the death penalty for Benjamin Suarez Lorenzo felon that raped me to steal my money and I get low over receive money. And so that I'm not inconvenienced and told to be at a court at a certain time. I've been told years ago that if they continue stealing from me and getting low over receive money, then I would possibly end up in a situation where a judge might want to tell me you need to be here tomorrow at 7. You can just send the videos of you life being uncomfortable. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I don't go on to find out who's been arrested or not because I'm not a part of their organization. I don't ever want to be a part of the organization. I miss my apartment being clean. I miss sitting there. My car, my Uno cards. Just one use the Jada, some of them. It was just $1 or $2. And do they just continue selling them? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I miss bloggers. My bloggers are doing my name. I think Amazon had Uno Go. Oh, they can be found. The Dollar Tree website. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? So what they lie to people about is like she's saying goodbye to her kids. Have you heard them? They're so creepy. They're like, don't give her money. She's just saying goodbye to her kids. Is there? I posted a picture of it. I still have the picture. I don't remember what I thought it was a toothbrush. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? Where can we play Blockers before bed or something like that? He wants to find as many people to rape, so he wants to kill me because I am teaching people that don't love themselves, and apparently there's none of that ever. It's just abuse people by these leeches. It sounds like at the moment. What else? What else? What else? They're the worst, literally the worst. So when one posts a picture of oneself with the kids or something, they're like, she's just saying goodbye to her kids. Don't give her money, she's just saying goodbye to her kids. Meaning that they're trying to kill one, that they're hoping that one abandons one's children to live with that. Ew. Like, marketing only for like high value. 6 months, and your dad is okay with it. I'll leave like this if you're okay with it. Very understanding. Now, by now, you've been with your dad for 5 years. I could have been living with a guy for 5 years. I don't want to be living with a guy for 5 years. But for that piece of shit that steals from me, gets in the way of me receiving money, steals my vehicles and gets in the way of me receiving money. Never. He hires a legal prostitute and then wants for me to jump in. He's seducing them with the money that he steals from me for later him using his money. What else? 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 Anyways, one day you will walk through yourself and you're like, oh my God, that's hilarious. What else? You can decapitate Mark Zuckerberg who stays in my home without my permission, steals my vehicles, gets into my nursing money, steals my money. You can decapitate Priscilla Chandler if she's, as an adult, stays in my homes without my permission, steals my money, gets in the way of me receiving money, steals my vehicles. I didn't like them. They're juvenile. They're like, oh, we're just so young. We can just put our penis like everywhere. Oh yeah, be responsible. Oh yeah. Or he was lobbying for his Facebook position, hates his parents for that, and then got raped. Anyways, I just had read the story, so I'm sharing this. What else? There's money, and even if a country has been snagging, all I needed to do is go to es como eso de que el déficit, como que hay deuda, como que la gente se está muriendo de hambre. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I haven't been able to start talking. Well, that's my deplorable here. De basura, el Anthony Capizano ese, Alex ese perro, me robó mi dinero, me robó mi casa, they get in the way we're seeing money, they go on to pay me legal processes, and they take her on via buses there, there. Oh yeah, oh yeah. Oh, esa mentalidad was nunca. Quality. Yeah, I guess that's so far and hard. It's really good stuff. Anyway, some people love them very much. I love them very much. Oh, because some people may feel that way, but now you may know me already that I'm not just fucking around like with a random. I wouldn't ever. What else? What else? What else? What else? What a waste of my time, you know. What else? I may just hand them out. For real, at the minute, I can. What a, these are being handed out at a wedding today. I want to host a party today and have. I don't know why I want to get 60 of them. What else? What else? What else? What else? What else? I'm bored. I'm bored.